Hello, and welcome to the City Club of Cleveland. My name is Eric Wipser, and I'm the chair of the City Club New Leaders. Today's panel, The State of Downtown, is brought to you by the City Club New Leaders and sponsored by the Downtown Cleveland Alliance. It's the fourth and final panel in a four-part series sponsored by DCA on the state of our downtowns. Today's panel will discuss a variety of issues facing the core of our cities in the state of Ohio and focus on efforts to make downtowns more attractive as places to live, work, and play. The panel will include Cleve Ricksecker, Executive Director of Capital Crossroads Columbus, Joe Marinucci, President and CEO of the Downtown Cleveland Alliance, and Ned Hill, Dean of the Maxine, Goodman, Levin College of Urban Affairs at Cleveland State University. Today's panel will be moderated by Michael McIntyre, who dutifully and comedically brings us the tip-off column for the Cleveland Plain Dealer. I now turn it over to Mike to introduce today's panel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric, and welcome everybody to the City Club of Cleveland. I'll read a slightly more flourishing profile of each of our panelists today as we discuss downtown and the importance of downtowns, particularly urban centers in Ohio. I'll start with Joe Marinucci to my direct left. Joe has more than 29 years of community and economic development experience in both the public and private sectors. As president and CEO of the Downtown Cleveland Alliance, Joe oversees numerous programs designed to spur investment in downtown Cleveland. He currently serves on the boards of Ingenuity Festival and the Cleveland Restoration Society, and he's held several economic development positions with Cuyahoga County, the City of Cleveland, and the State of Ohio. Joe Marinucci. Also joining us this morning is Cleve Ricksecker. Absolutely no clapping for Joe Marinucci. I'm really sorry, Joe. I tried. I was begging for you. Thank you.
Joe, you got sympathy.
We'll try to do better on this one. Cleve Ricksecker, who has the best name I've ever heard, is sitting to Joe's left.
Named after Grover Cleveland.
After Grover Cleveland. Cleve is the executive director of two special improvement districts in downtown Columbus, Capital Crossroads SID and Discovery SID. The SIDs assess property owners the cost of providing a variety of district-wide services, including safety, cleaning, hospitality, much like Joe's operation here in Cleveland. Prior to working with the downtown property owners to create and operate special improvement districts, Cleve served as executive director of the Riverfront Commons Corporation. He created a plan for developing the Scioto and Olentangy riverfronts and is currently being executed. You're not currently being executed, but they are currently being executed by the City of Columbus. And Cleve also is a licensed but inactive attorney, which is the best kind.
You're welcome.
Yes. He has a Juris Doctor from Capital University, Cleve Ricksecker. Much better. And finally, we have Edward W. Hill, otherwise known to everyone here as Ned Hill. Ned is the Dean of the Maxine, Goodman, Levin College of Urban Affairs at Cleveland State University. He's also a non-resident senior fellow of the Metropolitan Policy Program at the Brookings Institution and a non-resident visiting fellow of the Institute of Government Studies at the University of California at Berkeley. He's also a jolly good fellow. Ned Hill is with us this morning as well.
I get paid not to show up. It's a hell of a deal.
So here we are. We're downtown, and we're going to talk about downtown. I'd like to start that off with Joe Marinucci. Each of our panelists have put together a few minutes to sort of frame this conversation. After that, I'd like to let you know that I'm going to help moderate for about a half hour of this discussion, and then, of course, we're going to be relying on all of you to ask some really good questions in the last half of this thing and bring us home. Joe, why don't you go ahead and give us a start? You're the man here for downtown Cleveland. This is your passion.
It is.
What's the case for downtown?
Well, thanks, Mike. And it's good to see so many friends and colleagues out in the audience, so thank you for joining us today, and thanks for supporting the New Leaders program here at the City Club. Mike, when you step back and really look at where downtown Cleveland is, I would put it into the context of some of the work that we in the Alliance have been active with and have been involved with. Essentially, many of you will recall that back in 2005, 2006, we went through a very aggressive process in downtown Cleveland and really worked on two fronts. One was to create a special improvement district, and again, Cleve represents the same type of organization in Columbus as we have here, and we're able to organize property owners to, in essence, I think, make a critical step in the evolution of downtown, and that was we got them to convince themselves to assess themselves for an enhanced set of services. And they made that decision in late 2005. And in addition, we also reorganized downtown. We created the Alliance, which is really an organization that represents both the property owners and our neighborhood-based partners who we work with on a day-to-day basis. From that, we began to not only deliver the clean and safe services that I hope many of you have become familiar with in terms of our work here in downtown Cleveland, but we've also begun to tackle some of the long-term and short-term issues here in downtown Cleveland. The good news is that we are now in our 4th year of our initial 5-year authorization, and we've begun the process of moving forward with our stakeholders, with our property owners, to reauthorize the program moving forward. The good news is the property owners have actually exceeded the threshold that we now have, which will allow us to work with the City of Cleveland and specifically City Council to secure an additional 5-year authorization of the program going forward. In addition, we work very closely with the philanthropic community on some of the things that we look at. And again, stepping back and talking just quickly about downtown Cleveland, I wanted to put some perspective into where we are. Downtown Cleveland remains a vibrant, very, very much growing location. We have over 120,000 people that commute into downtown and work every day. We have close to 10,000 people that live in downtown Cleveland, which is twice the level of population that existed less than 10 years ago. We have some very vibrant amenities here in downtown Cleveland when you talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Gateway complexes. At this point, we believe we've improved the environment. We've improved the pedestrian environment and allowed us to really create a stronger image that downtown is a safe and inviting place for people to come and to potentially make investments, make a choice to live or to visit. Moving forward, you're going to see us talking about, we now believe we're at a point where we can aggressively market downtown more proactively, especially in the business development realm. When we went through our reauthorization process, that marketing challenge really was brought to us by the property owners. And we think we're now at a point from our evolution that we can talk very aggressively about that and really position ourselves within the region as really that vibrant core to Northeast Ohio. Secondly, we're at a point where we can leverage, for the first time in many, many years, we think, significant investments in downtown Cleveland. We are obviously looking at the medical mart, the convention center project. We're looking at a casino development. We're looking at the first phase of the Flass East Bank project moving forward. That represents nearly $1.25 billion of investment. And again, we haven't seen that level of investment in quite some time. So we need to leverage that. We need to make sure that we're doing that appropriately. That's why we're working with partners like Parkworks to look at Public Square and how do we improve the pedestrian connectivity of all these investments and not only connect them to the new investments but to the existing investments. East 4th Street, Tower City, the Warehouse District. And that really is going to be our challenge, not only to create the pedestrian environment but to create those great public spaces that will allow us again to animate that space. In addition, I think we have some great opportunities to really work with our adjoining neighborhoods, whether it's Ohio City or Tremont or St. Clair or Asian Village. If you think about downtown, part of our strength is our adjoining neighborhoods. And we feel very strongly that if you look at that area, you're talking really about an employment base of close to 160,000 people and close to 47,000 residents. And in the future, we're going to be working very closely with those neighborhood-based partners. Why? Because if you live in downtown Cleveland, you're more than likely going to go to Tremont for dinner. And vice versa, if you live in Tremont, you're more than likely to take advantage of the amenities of downtown. So we think that those are very, very vibrant strategies. We've got some strategic initiatives like the bike rack, our new bike station we're working closely with the City of Cleveland to create. So again, we think we're at the precipice of a lot of neat things happening, and to be frank, we're very excited.
Thank you, Joe. Anybody who's ever talked to me knows that that is the longest time anyone has ever spoken without my asking a question. And I'm going to do my best to again, allow the rest of our speakers to establish this conversation. We're going to go back on a lot of that stuff as well. Cleve Ricksecker from Columbus. Tell us what you got going on down there.
Well, I have to have a confession to make to the audience. I'm a Cleveland wannabe. I can't say this in Columbus, but I've lived in Columbus for 33 years. But I grew up in north central Ohio. My mother was raised in Cleveland Heights. You'll be pleased to know I've lived in Columbus 33 years. I still have an inferiority complex when it comes to Cleveland. So